to the first ever The Business Podcast episode. Yay! I'm so happy that y'all are here. So, I've been on to do a podcast for a while now. I'm so excited that y'all are here with me. So, y'all are going to get to know more about me and then also just more about things that I like to do, things that I like to talk about, things that are helpful, mostly positive. I might have to be not positive sometimes because, sometimes you gotta address stuff. But other than that, I want y'all to be here with me and tune in every single week. I'm gonna be dropping an episode. So this episode today is gonna be talking about peace in the midst of chaos. So what that means is just peace, keeping the peace and staying peaceful in the midst of chaos, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what things are happening around you, being able to stay peaceful and maintain your peace, learning how to, control your stressors, and even when things stress you, knowing how to come back down and kind of center yourself, right? So the first thing that I want to talk about when we're talking about controlling our peace is doing things like reading. Reading actually helps me a lot. Ever since I was young, I love to read. So I would be, after I would go to school, before school, during school. Of course, at that time, you have so much time on your hands that you have the time to read. But as adults, as we get older, we have things like our kids, being single moms, being any type of mom. You know how the kids are. They gonna run around. They gonna do their thing. They gonna get on your nerves sometimes, right? You just gotta be real. They gonna get on your nerves. So when that happens, you have to be able to have things that help you not stress so much and come back and get centered and relax. So reading is something that I do as of right now. I just started back. When my kids go to sleep at night, I dedicate an hour and a half to reading. And I have two books that I kind of go in between. I read one book an hour and a half one night, and the next night I read another book an hour and a half. So it's kind of like I can do that because I can cross read between books, but some of y'all might not be able to do that because y'all might not be, skilled at that like me. But I've been doing that. I've been doing that for years. That's how I used to get done reading books fast. But however, it's a great way to escape your reality. Sometimes we all have things going on, things that are, taking place in our lives that we just want to relax and not think about it and not worry about it and have just a moment in time where you can just think about other things, right? So yeah, that's a great way to do it. I've been doing it for years, and I had to take a break because, of course, like, with jobs, with different obligations that we have, you may not have the time all the time to do that. But it's great when you do have the time to do it. Take that time out, pick you up a good book, read it, and I promise you, you're gonna be thinking about what's going on in the book. You're not gonna be thinking about what happened that day at work or how the kids just messed up the living room again. And all those type of things. So yeah, that's great. Another thing to do that I've been doing for years, and of course it's kind of like off and on, but it's just, these are things I've started doing here recently, is meditation. So meditation is amazing when it comes to just being able to slow down the world and our thoughts and things that we may be worried about every day. We all have bills. We all have to go to work. We all have sicknesses, illness, things going on in our families, different things that we can't talk to everybody about. So if with meditation, I meditate. I like to have just a quiet 5 minutes or so, usually at night. I usually do it at night. My kids go to bed or in the morning. So I do it with music that has no words. So I like to do it with a little music and just kind of close my eyes and relax for those 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And there's different ways to do it, to meditate, y'all. You can meditate by listening to your favorite song and just having that time to yourself, 5-10 minutes a day, and listening to music without anybody around. So it's totally up to you how you use your meditation period, how you use that time. Really, it's just something that relaxes you and takes your and regulates your nervous system and takes all of those worries and that stress for just those few moments, and you can center it out and block all of that out during that period of time and take that time to zone back into who you are, into yourself, and get one with yourself and figure out who you are. Just gives you a few minutes to think about just nothing at all and just getting back to just yourself for those moments. So I think meditation is great. It's something I've been doing it for a long time, and I really enjoy doing that. Another thing that we can do, of course, to alleviate a little stress is something I used to do. And don't y'all get on me, because I already know. I thought I had my second kid. It's been hard for me. But exercise, y'all. I used to exercise a lot. That's one great thing that is used to help with stress, to help regulate your nervous system, help your brain, because it sends signals to your brain and tells you, even when you're stressing with things like you can be depressed and anxiety, things like that, different things. It helps with that. It really does. And of course, when you lose the weight and get your body together, you're going to feel better naturally. So those things help you with the stress and maintaining your peace and just being peaceful and regulating your system. And so I would just suggest, when it comes to exercising, I just started back, y'all. So I'm not no expert no more, not right now. But I just started doing like one, just like for 30 minutes in the mornings. Even if you do 10 minutes, even if you walk during your lunch break. I remember I used to see people when I was younger, y'all, they would walk during their lunch break at work. And I would look at them like, why are y'all walking during y'all's lunch break at work? Like, aren't y'all tired? Like, I ain't trying to walk at my lunch break. Like, who does that? But now I realize what they were doing. Like, it does help with regulating your system. And they probably was having a stressful day just like I was. And that helped them. Because after exercising, it kind of calmed their brain down. So that's another great thing. Something that I love doing, y'all, is writing. Writing. When it comes to creating our peace and really knowing who we are as a person and really learning ourselves and learning just kind of like our triggers and things that may interrupt our peace, and we don't even think about it, but we actually want to change it and take the time to to focus in on it and try to create an environment where we're not always upset or stressed out. Like, so nobody wants to live like that, and I know I don't. I have not saying that I have never have. I have. And it's a battle every day, because this is something that you have to work at every day. But doing things like even writing down like how your day went, things that you want to accomplish, your goals, your dreams, things that you have already accomplished. Even sometimes, I know, guys, people talk about like writing down your accomplishments and letting everybody know what writing down the things that, not that your accomplishments, but things that you want to accomplish, right? Your goals. But sometimes it helps to just write down your things that you've already accomplished, things that you've already made, dreams that you already had come true, things that you've already knocked off your list of goals and aspirations that you wanted to achieve. So if you can write those things down, sometimes they can give you a boost in your brain. Like, okay, look at these are some things that I've already done. Like, so it's always good to be your own biggest cheerleader in this world, because we know that there are a lot of things that can bring you down, right? There's always, of course, outside factors, people talking, even at work. I know I used to could not. I had one job where every time I went in, I dreaded it, right? And we all have that. Like, we all have instances in our lives where we've been in a situation or at a job where it's like, I don't even want to do this today. I don't want to do it. And I remember when I worked that job, that was one of my main times when I used to write a lot. And I wrote I love writing poetry in my free time. So I would write poems, I would write just goals. I used to write my goals down, and I would just keep it kind of during my time while I was working. And just, that would be during my breaks and things like that, that would be something that I did that kind of took away some stress and kind of just gave me time to myself. So yeah, that's just an example of something that I used to do back in the day, kind of back in the day, because I don't even know how long that was ago, but I couldn't stand that job at that time, but it really helped me, guys. And so yeah, writing, even if you write like in the, just writing for 5 or 10 minutes, just writing things that you want to talk about, or even writing about your day, like what can go better tomorrow, what went good today. Those things are super helpful, y'all. Another thing is creating peace, right? Something that creates peace. And I'm going to say this, and some people are going to say, oh my gosh, no. Sometimes creating peace means staying away from certain people. It does. It means staying away from certain people. Even, you know how I just talked about my job, right? I just talked about my previous job that stressed me out a lot. Well, I would not recommend anyone staying in a career or in a job that stresses you out constantly. Because how can you have peace? There's no peace. You can't have peace with that. So I would not recommend anyone staying at a job or being in a career that you're stressed out every day. Because there's no way to really maintain your peace in the midst of that. So what I would say is, find, we all, of course, I know you're going to say, you're going to look at me like, Deanna, do you understand I have bills to pay? Of course I understand, because I got bills to pay too. I understand this. However, pay those bills, but always in the midst of you paying bills and you doing your day-to-day life, you be trying to find your way out and find you something that you really love doing and enjoy. Because I'm telling y'all, life is too short to be stressed out and not at peace and living peacefully every day and having to be upset and worked up every day. It's not worth it. And when I was speaking about workplace, again, I'm saying stay away from people, because a lot of times our triggers and the people that trigger us and upset us and create that unpeaceful environment are people that we work with. Sometimes it ain't even people at work, y'all. Some of y'all, when you come home, you don't even have peace at home. And that is not a good thing, because I don't care. I know somebody said one time, it was like, you never know what triggers you unless you're around people. I don't believe in that. I believe I don't want to be triggered, so I stay away from certain people. And I always will. I don't want to be triggered. I don't want to have to be like, okay, before I walk in the room, I don't want to be like, oh my gosh. I don't want to have all this anxiety built up when I walk into a room. I want to just be free, be relaxed, be happy, be able to focus. When you're more focused and you're able to relax and let your nervous system down and just enjoy things, your life is just so much better and so much more peaceful and so much more just, you can take in those moments. You can be a better parent, a better person, a better partner, just better anything in life, a better businesswoman, businessman, anything. And another big, 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 big thing that I do, and I actually was doing this when I didn't even know that it was part of like regulating your nervous system and helping you create peaceful environments and helping you keep that, keep the chaos and keep in the midst of chaos, keep all of that energy away from you. Breathing, just simply breathing, y'all. Breathing is so big. It's such a big part of regulating your nervous system, because you can be in the midst of something going on, and literally you can take 2 deep breaths and be like, and it gives you. And I learned this through. I actually was taking in therapy at one time, and I'm gonna have an episode where I talk about some different things as far as therapy and things like that, but this is not the one. But yeah, I learned that breathing is super big. It regulates your nervous system and gives you time to calm down. Like, you can be in one of the most horrible situations, and if you just breathe and think about what you're doing, you'll have time to actually calm down where you won't. Maybe the consequences won't be so major, and it won't be life changing. Just breathing. I even have my daughter even breathes, y'all. Sometimes when I tell her to do something and she gets a little bit worked up, or she gets, you know how kids are. She gets to where she doesn't want to do something. I'm like, breathe, and she'll be like, she does it. She already does it. So she knows how to do that and kind of regulate her system. So that's something that we're starting out early. And it's just, these are just simple things. And as I will say on all of my podcast episodes, a lot of these are my opinions. This is not set in stone. If you don't feel like it will work for you, don't do it. I want you to be your true authentic self. And if you take the time out to watch my podcast episodes, I want you to enjoy it. I want you to actually enjoy it and know that all this is coming from the heart. All of these are things that I'm working on as well. I'm not perfect, so I'm not waking up every day like, oh my gosh, my life is so great and so peaceful every single day. No, these are things that I'm working on every day, daily, to create a peaceful environment in the midst of any chaos going on, because none of us can control what happens in our day-to-day life. None of us can control what the next person does. None of us can control anything. The only person that you can control is yourself and your actions, the things that and the steps that you take to create a peaceful and tranquil environment for you and the people that you love.